The deadline approaching for Iowa's arts organizations to apply for a special pandemic support grant.
KCAU-9 News reporter Hannah Adamson spending time today with two Sioux City theater groups, and tonight shares what applying for this grant means to them in part one of her series.
Tim and Sophie, Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds approved $7 million from the CARES Act to create the Iowa Arts and Culture Recovery Fund earlier this month. Now folks with the Lamb Arts Regional Theater and the Sioux City Community Theater tell me applying for those funds are giving them renewed hope amidst a devastating year. For Sioux City Community Theater's board president Rick Myers, this year can be summed up in one word.
It's been miserable. We had to lay off our office staff.
Now he's waiting to hear back about a new support grant he applied for 2 days ago. A process he says was anything but easy.
It took me about 3 days to come up with everything. They didn't give us a very large window. They gave us from December 1st to the 11th to do this.
You had to have your 990 tax forms from 3 years. And then what was interesting is that you take an average of your expenses for those 3 years.
Diana Woolley with Lamb Theater says eligible arts groups can get up to 15% of that average. For Woolley, those funds would help cover expenses related to producing shows amid the pandemic.
The cost of the shows don't change, whether we have an audience of 30 or 20 or 10, or if we have a full house.
Woolley says despite Lamb Theater being in the red all season, she's confident the Iowa Arts Council will work to distribute the $7 million fairly among big and small theater groups.
I really do think, because everything's on this percentage thing, that I think it could be very fair.
For SCCT, which has opted not to produce shows during the pandemic, Myers hopes the grant will keep the lights on.
You know, I'm not asking for everything. I just want to get through this. So that's what I'm looking to get out of it, something to sustain us for the next year.
Woolley tells me what makes this fund so unique is that it's not just for theater groups. It's also for cultural organizations, live music venues, and individual artists. However, again, the deadline to apply is tomorrow, and we have more information on our website, SiouxlandProud.com. Tomorrow in part 2, I'll take a closer look at how both theaters have been operating during the pandemic.